Thanks for your interest in the One Seattle Plan zoning update. This video walks you through how to read our zoning map, understand what the proposal means for your home or community, and offer comments to help us improve the proposal. The map of draft zoning changes is available at zoning.oneseattleplan.com. On our zoning update website, click Zoning Map to view the map. It's best viewed on a desktop computer, but it adjusts if you're using a tablet or phone. First, what is a zoning map? Zoning is the set of rules that governs how land can be used and what type and form of development can occur in a given area. Zoning determines where housing is allowed throughout Seattle, and in the areas where it is, how much and what type of housing can be built. Let's get oriented to this map, which shows zoning changes that we're proposing across the city to implement the new growth strategy of the One Seattle Plan, which is detailed in our growth strategy summary. Wherever you see an area with color on the map, a zoning change is proposed. In each of these areas, a label tells you what the area's current zoning is and what it would change to under the proposed rezone. In areas shaded gray, no zoning change is currently proposed, as the label indicates. The meaning of the various colors, shapes, and lines is explained in the legend, which you can open over here. The various colors represent different zones, which we'll return to shortly, and the areas outlined are regional, urban, and neighborhood centers at the heart of our growth strategy. Neighborhood centers are a new place type, outlined in lighter blue, and existing centers that we propose to expand are outlined in a dashed line. You can also toggle other layers on or off for helpful context using the layer list over here. Some layers are off by default, as indicated by this symbol, but you can turn them on. For example, activate the frequent transit route layer to see where we've proposed allowing additional housing along frequent transit arterials. To explore the zoning update, navigate the map as you would on a site like Google Maps. To find a specific place, you search an address in the search bar, over here. You can also choose from a list of bookmarks down here, which will bring you to one of the dozens of centers in our growth strategy. For example, if you click on Madrona, it will navigate to the new neighborhood center proposed in the Madrona neighborhood. If you want to learn about a particular location, just click on it. That will bring up a pop-up window that tells you its current zoning and, if a change is proposed, what new zoning the area would have. For example, here in the proposed Madrona Neighborhood Center, we can click to see that this area is currently zoned neighborhood residential and is proposed to change to Low-Rise 3, one of Seattle's multifamily zones. The pop-up describes Low-Rise 3, explains that development here would support affordable housing through Mandatory Housing Affordability, or MHA, and then shows several images of typical new housing that can be built in an LR3 zone. In other areas, you might see different information in the pop-up. For example, in some regional and urban centers, you'll see a note that additional zoning changes to increase housing capacity might be proposed as part of a future phase of the zoning update. Here's a tip. You might want to dock the pop-up on the side of the map, which makes navigating and reading the information easier. Most of Seattle is proposed to remain neighborhood residential, or NR, though we're updating our neighborhood residential zones to increase housing choices and meet new state requirements enacted in House Bill 1110. Areas that would remain neighborhood residential are shown in yellow on our map, and in the pop-up for those areas, you'll see a link to our report, Updating Seattle's Neighborhood Residential Zoning, which describes the updated standards for NR zones and illustrates housing types that could be built under these new rules. Let's return to Madrona. There are two ways to provide your feedback about the zoning update, depending on the type of comment you want to share. For location-specific comments, the web map is also a commenting platform where you can provide your feedback directly and spatially. Let's say you've reviewed the map and now want to make a comment about a particular area that we've proposed to rezone. To do so, first click Add a Comment. You then have two options. You can click with your cursor to drop a pin on the map and write your comment, or you can type in the search bar and immediately begin creating a comment for that address. Let's click to drop a pin. In this sidebar, you'll first be prompted to add information about yourself. First name, email, and zip code are required. We ask for the zip code where you live so that we can understand where comments are coming from and how well we're reaching community members throughout Seattle and the region. Next, I choose what type of comment I'm making. I'm giving feedback about a neighborhood center. Then I can choose Madrona from the list of centers. This helps us correctly categorize and analyze comments. Then I write my thoughts. We are most interested in feedback about the proposed boundaries of new and expanded centers and about the proposed zoning changes within those centers. On the other hand, if you have an overall comment about the zoning update that's not location-specific, or if your comments concern the updates to neighborhood residential zoning, please use our general comment form, which appears both below the zoning map and on the neighborhood residential page of our website. That's it. I've made my comment. I could go through those steps again to make additional comments, or if I want to view the comments that others have made, I can see them listed here in the sidebar. Here's the comment that we just made. If I click through the comments, I can see what other community members have said. I can upvote comments that I like or agree with, which helps us see feedback that resonates with others. Now, a few tips about using this map. Some aspects are admittedly a bit finicky. You might notice that when you click on a comment, the map zooms in to the wrong area. Unfortunately, this is a known bug with the mapping platform that's outside our control. You also might wish it would filter to those comments that are visible in the part of the map that you've zoomed to. We also wish it would do that, but unfortunately, the sidebar will always list all comments citywide. However, we have made it possible for you to filter comments by center. Click here and select the area you're interested in. The sidebar will filter to the comments that are tagged with that neighborhood. One more tip. When you're navigating the map on desktop, you might feel stuck zooming in and out with your mouse when you instead want to navigate the website around it. If that happens, just move your cursor to one side of the map and you'll be able to scroll on the page itself. Thanks again for taking the time to review our proposal for zoning changes that help address Seattle's housing shortage and create inclusive, thriving neighborhoods, and we look forward to your comments.